So I am guilty. I wasn't always that healthy person on it, eating the best quality foods, drinking the spring water. No. I too used to eat Little Caesars pizzas after school. I used to be so excited for the school lunch to get those gooey cookies that they sold filled with seed oils, sugar, and other amazing processed chemicals. But of course, that had to change. I found myself with extreme ADHD. The doctor wanted to prescribe me medication when I was a kid. So, in elementary school, I found myself with an IEP. Now, if you don't know what that is for a kid to have special education. I always felt different. I didn't feel like I belonged in there, and I can say wholeheartedly, that was because of my diet. Kids in school nowadays are pumped up on sugars, processed foods, seed oils. It doesn't make any sense to me that this is what the education system is telling kids they should do. And the only reason I have any education on what it means to actually eat healthy is because I did my own self-education. And that is why you're watching this video today. You're taking action because you know that no one else will help you, no one else will save you. They do not want the best for you, and that is a fact. And I speak this with so much passion because it is affecting people all over the world, especially those close to me. People are drinking tap water, thinking that, oh, it's just tap water. What is it gonna do? Why is this kid drinking spring water, buying glasses? Because I care about my future self. I ask myself, why has cancer become so prevalent today? Cancer wasn't even a thing in nature. Well, what is happening in the environment? There's a lot of shady stuff going on. And this video today is gonna give you some information to combat that, to take control of your own health. So if you don't know me, my name's Alex. I have a mixture of content on this channel, ranging from content about healthy living, all the way to traveling and self-development. I've tried the plant-based route. I did not last very long with that. Intuitively, I just knew it wasn't the right thing to do for me. I've also tried full carnivore. That was more my speed, but it wasn't there yet. And then I created something called the God Diet. And don't worry, this has nothing to do with religion. This has everything to do with foods that come from nature. To put it simply, when I'm in a grocery store, I ask myself, did God create this? You can ask yourself, did nature create this? So when I'm in a grocery store, I will look at the banana and I will say, did God create that? The answer is yes. I'm gonna pick that banana up and I'm gonna put it in my basket. And then I'm gonna go see the chips. I'm gonna turn the ingredients around and see a whole list of artificial bullshit. What am I gonna do with that? I'm gonna leave that where I found it. A good rule of thumb is asking yourself, did this food come from nature? If it didn't, leave it. And most of the time, that's gonna be one ingredient foods. So if you see zucchini, pick it up. If you see squash, pick it up. Just remember, not every food that comes from nature is good to be eating, but it's a good rule of thumb to start with. Now I'm gonna take you through 5 different phases here. Phase number 1, well, that was the nature/God diet. That is how I think. I'm all about natural foods. I'm not carnivore. I'm not plant-based. I mesh them all together and I just live the lifestyle that is most true to me. So with phase number 1 out of the way, your action step. Next time you're in the grocery store, ask yourself, did God make this? Did nature create this? If the answer is no, do not pick it up. Those companies do not want the best for you. Remember that. Phase number 2, this goes for both male and females, but this is gonna be more of a shout out to my males. Food for testosterone. Testosterone in men has plummeted over the years. Why is that? Well, there's many different factors, environment, stress, but one of the biggest factors we're gonna speak about now is diet. Men are eating like they are 12 years old. They're eating cereal filled up with sugar, seed oils, and other bullshit. They're eating chips, Doritos, whatever they can get their hands on to fill their stomach because they need a shot of dopamine every second. Stop being a child. So, the best foods for testosterone. Fatty fish. This is a huge one. Do not be afraid of fat. Eating things like salmon and sardines, those are my 2 staples, so I stick by those for fatty fish. Another one, animal meats. We got grass-fed beef, steak, liver, and bison. Those are my top picks for grass-fed meats, and those are amazing choices for you to be your healthiest and for you to have the highest testosterone. Make sure you're always getting the highest of quality. This goes for everything I'm talking about. Shoot for organic, grass-fed. Don't go out buying the convenience store eggs because they're a couple bucks off. Stop complaining about egg prices, please. Because if you don't mind spending $40 on Uber Eats or going out to the bars on a weekend and spending over $200, then do not complain about buying the best quality eggs. Because when you're buying the best quality eggs, that is you make an investment into you. When you're spending money on booze, Uber Eats, you're only hurting yourself, but you're paying more for that. Stick with animal fats, ghee, grass-fed butter, preferably raw milk. Those are amazing animal fats that you should be adding to your diet if you can tolerate things like dairy. Other fats include olive oil and avocados. By the way, avocados are high in boron, which is a nutrient amazing for testosterone. Things like dates also include high amounts of boron. Now the next one I'm gonna say is a superfood. It's something that I stick by. Not only eating it, but putting it on topically. This superfood is extremely beneficial for healing skin issues such as scarring, but it also is one of the healthiest foods you could be consuming, and that is honey. Now, everywhere I travel to, I get the honey based on that location because not only is it amazing for you, but if you're getting it based on the location, it helps with allergies. I don't get allergies, but it's just a fun fact I thought I would say if that's something you suffer from. Honey increases the production of luteinizing hormone, which causes the testicles to create the hormone testosterone. And that in turn is important for creating sperm. Sperm count is at an all-time low. This is something that we have to take very, very seriously as men. And just remember, they don't want to see us winning. One of our main purposes here is to reproduce, create. If we can't utilize one of our main purposes, then you can't expect to live a fulfilling life, in my opinion. So you need to protect that at all costs. Now, one of the most important foods I'm going to talk about for testosterone is eggs. Whole eggs contain cholesterol, which is essential for your body to create testosterone. Do not be afraid of cholesterol. So there was a study done in 2020 that followed men on a weight training program that lasted over 12 weeks. One of the groups was eating 3 whole eggs with a yolk. The other group was just eating 6 egg whites. The study showed that the ones who ate the full egg with the yolk increased their testosterone more than the ones who just ate the egg whites. Eggs are like a steroid, but it's an all-natural steroid. If you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. You need to be eating eggs. It is a superfood. Do not be afraid of them. Oysters have become more and more popular, but that is because they contain zinc, a very important piece to creating testosterone. Cacao, a food that I eat every single day. The food of the gods, that is what they call it, because it contains bromine. It also contains magnesium and flavonoids. And research shows that the antioxidants in cacao help to increase testosterone, so I'm always eating that stuff. Fruit is a huge one, especially berries. That is a superfood for not only testosterone, but hydrating your body, hydrating your skin, your hair, making you look more youthful and beautiful. So do not be afraid of cholesterol. Your body needs that to create testosterone. Make sure to be eating a diet high in healthy fats. When I say eat a diet high in fat, people will get so scared. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't listen to this guy. Do whatever you want. I'm just a guy that feels incredible every single day and wakes up fired up with what he does. The average person wakes up tired and gets tired by 2 p.m. groggy. Choose which one you want. I'm just gonna give you my 2 cents in these videos. So for phase number 2, to wrap it up, let's just go through the foods to avoid. Those are soy. Do not eat foods with soy and do not eat soy. Just for an example, tofu is a soy product. Processed foods, do not eat cereals. Do not eat most things that are in a box or like snacking foods. Just stay away from them as much as you can. Alcohol, I know, but you want to stay away from it as much as possible. And don't eat flax seeds. So your action step for phase number 2, your meal tomorrow night. Eat grass-fed beef with an avocado, raw cheese, which you can find all those ingredients at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. And then I'm gonna get into some other foods that you can add on there, but I would add on sauerkraut as well. That's a perfect meal right there for high testosterone. This one gets me stoked, okay? Food for sun, internal sunscreen. So companies are going to lie to you as much as possible and tell you that you need to be lathering on seed oil sunscreen. Not only is that causing skin cancer, but it's also leading to degrading health. Do not put on regular sunscreen. This is not a video about skincare, but there are many products on the market that are tallow-based sunscreens that contain ingredients like cacao, like beef tallow, like olive oil. Those are all great foods for protecting yourself from the sun. So stick with the natural products. But we are going to talk about how to protect yourself through your diet. Some of the biggest ones, healthy fats from animals, such as grass-fed beef and the other ones I had mentioned before. Salmon is a huge one, and sardines is a massive one. What those foods do, especially the omega-3s in the sardines and salmon, they boost your skin's ability to protect itself from UV damage. So they're very powerful foods to be consuming. This is a superfood, carrots. Eat more carrots. You will show up more tan. That is because there's beta carotene in them. That's a strong antioxidant that helps protect your skin from UV damage. Also a fun fact, carrots can also help reduce that sensitivity to the sun and sunburns, almost acting like an internal sunscreen. So nature provides it all. What do you think our ancestors did back in the day? You think they were putting on chemical goop? They were using nature to their advantage. They were going into shade when they had enough sun. but internal sunscreen can be found right in nature. Sweet potatoes are also a huge food to be eating because they also do have beta carotene. A lot of those orange looking foods are very good for sun exposure. Nature will give you cues, so if you see a food that's more orange, sometimes that can be good for the sun. So an orange is amazing for eating when you're in the sun a lot. Oranges have vitamin C, which keeps your skin hydrated and protected. Some of my favorite fruits I'm about to say right now, one of the biggest ones, starting with watermelon. Watermelon is so good for sun exposure. Then we got berries, papayas, all packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. Things like berries have been shown to have anti-aging properties to them. So that can actually reverse premature aging from the sun. All in all, make sure to be eating foods high in vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C. So, foods to avoid, stay away from seed oils. I believe seed oils is a massive reason why cancer has become more prevalent today, but also why skin cancer has become more prevalent. Seed oils make your body more prone to sun damage. You burn easier when you are eating a high amount of seed oils. So just stay away from them at all costs. Look at the back of your ingredients before you buy them. It will say canola oil, safflower oil, any of those oils. If you do not see either coconut oil or olive oil, I would just stay away from it. For phase number 3, your action step. Go outside for 20 minutes in the sun and stop being afraid of it. You look like that guy from the bench warmers who's afraid of the sun and eating sunscreen. Phase number 4, food for focus. This is something I'm huge on because I am someone who enjoys working. I love sitting at my desk and getting work done. But many people nowadays are not even able to do deep work because they're so distracted by social media, this and that. This goes back to when I was in elementary school, middle school with an IEP. I couldn't concentrate. I'm that same person today, just of course evolved, but I can sit for hours and concentrate on a task that I really want to do. And that is because I eat the proper foods. I'm not eating heavy carbs. I'm not eating processed bullshit. Fast for 5 hours after waking. Give yourself a 16 to 18 hour window not eating any food. This is all my belief, but I believe that a man or woman that has to kill for their food, in other words, really work for their food, is more dangerous than the one that just pulls up Uber Eats and orders it right to their house. So don't eat at the first ping of hunger. Most likely it's just habitual. It's something you're used to. Not only will you have amazing focus without having the food in your system digesting, but you're also gonna let your body regenerate and eat those bad cells up. For max focus, eat a diet of meat products. You got fruit, you got eggs, you have all those different products that I've mentioned before. If you can tell, those are fairly low in carbohydrates. The things that are higher in carbohydrates but are good carbs are honey, fruits. Those are great to be having. You're not going to lose much mental clarity from that. Eat things like avocados, squash, sardines. These are all foods that do not weigh you down and you will stay laser focused even after you finish a meal with those products. Foods to avoid, at least during the day, try avoiding foods high in carbohydrates for maximum focus. And at all costs, do not eat processed foods because that will weigh you down even the next day. Your action step for phase number 4. Tomorrow, fast until 12 p.m. and have your next meal be eggs and fruit. Nothing else. Eggs and fruit. You can throw some sardines in there if you want as well. A little grass-fed beef. But stay away from the heavy carbs. If you want to follow what I do, eggs and fruit with sardines. In phase number 5, what do we got? Are you ready for this one? Supplements. I'm not a big supplement guy, I will say. I like to get most of my nutrients from my food. But there are a few supplements that I stand true by. One of the big ones, beef liver. That is one of the most nutrient-dense foods in the world, and it's something that I stand by. It gives me maximum focus, it gives me mental clarity, it helps me feel stronger. Look for those beef liver supplements if you don't want to take the raw liver down. Astaxanthin. Now this helps protect you against aging of the skin, and it also helps you get that internal sunscreen into your body. You won't burn as easily if you're taking astaxanthin consistently. Collagen. Great for the skin, hair, and nails. You've probably heard of collagen. Make sure it's grass-fed collagen that's pasture-raised. Fish oil is another one. Something that I consume on a daily basis is cod liver oil. That contains vitamin D and vitamin A. Vitamin A protects the skin against skin damage, and it's also very good for acne, especially clearing up acne. And then the last one, salt. Stop being so afraid of salt, especially if you're an active individual. Don't let your family tell you or your parents tell you, stay away from the salt, be careful with the salt. Just make sure you're getting a good quality salt. I stick by Redmond salt or Celtic sea salt. Those are the two ones that I know of that are fairly high quality salts. So stick with those if you can. This is not necessarily things to stay away from, but just keep in mind that not all supplement companies are the same. Not all want the best for you. So just do your due diligence, do your research, make sure you're getting the highest quality supplements possible. So your action step for phase number 5, try out beef liver. Or if you want to be a psycho like me, just do it raw. I get raw beef liver from my farm. I know the farmer, I talk to him directly. I make sure that it's of good quality. I go grass fed. So that wraps up this full video going through the God diet, the nature diet. It is a very powerful way of living. Just remember always, they do not want to see you winning. They do not want to see us winning. That is the biggest piece to take away from this. Don't trust everything you see. Stay away from the cereals, stay away from the seed oils, and most of all, stay away from everyone pushing their own agenda on you, making you buy these different products that you need so bad because it's going to lower your cholesterol or it's going to do this or that. That's the old way of thinking. We're all about the new way of thinking. We're all about thinking for ourselves. So on that note, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments anything that I can implement into my diet that will help me be the best version of myself. So on that note, I will see you next week for another video. Keep crushing it, take action, follow some of those action steps. I'll see you in the next one.